Okay, I'd like to start from the second row. Hey, hi, I'm Ulrich. You said in the presentation World of Warships is not that big in the USSR, in Russia. You said it's more in Europe.
That's not what I said. I said
No?
I said that we are very pleased to see that European players, their hearts really click. When it comes to former Soviet Union, you understand, tanks, it's like religion there, right? I mean, World of Tanks is religion. It's not easy to compete with World of Tanks. But the major point is this: as Wargaming, as a company, 3-4 years ago, when we started developing warplanes, warships, after tanks, we established this philosophy. We, as a company, give you as many games as we can make. Tanks, ships, planes, maybe something else. And it's your choice, and they're all free to play. And it's your choice which game to play. Today, thank you very much. Even from the economical standpoint, the unified premium account, it's like if you have a tank account, or if you had a tank account and there's some still premium time left, you can play World of Warships and you don't have to pay for premium account, which gives you even more choice. You wake up in the morning and you think, hey, I want to blow some stuff up. You play a couple of World of Tanks games, and weekend there's some tournament of World of Warships. You're playing World of Warships. You're waiting for a taxi at the airport. Guess what? In your pocket, you play Blitz. So we do not just a game and a game and a game. Yeah, we do that too, but most importantly, it's ecosystem of those games where you have the choice. World of Tanks is 5 years on the market and people play for 5 years, even 6 years if you include beta and alpha. Many players play this. So yes, enthusiasm for ship beta and launch was great in Europe. By the way, it was very great in Asia too. You know, Singapore, Taiwan, Japan, big impact, big splash. But because we're not here for 1 year hit and run, we're here for 5, 10, 20 years, pretty much till the end of time. So tastes will change, you know, you like this for 5 years and you're a little bit tired. Here's your ships, here's your maybe some new game. But you always know, in your pocket or at your computer, you have your collections of tanks, ships and planes forever. You can log in anytime and play a couple of battles.
I see. Oh, okay.
You know, is the success of World of Tanks, is it maybe a curse for World of Warplanes? Because obviously, even in your presentation, it was like, this is World of Tanks, and I think I heard the word World of Warplanes like once or twice, and it's like you're doing a fresh start with World of Warships now.
These three games are made by three quite separate teams. Technological platform and the monetization philosophy is the same, and premium account unified. I'm going to be honest with all of you. We, of course, are, and the numbers of World of Warplanes, the metrics, right, are nowhere near tanks, and ships definitely in the nearest future will be like much bigger than planes too. We, as a gaming company, try to analyze why is that, right? Because of, again, at the end of the day, it's all about fun. If you play something for 5 years, it means you love it and you have fun. With World of Warplanes, the essence of the combat is quite sophisticated. Tanks are like cars, like they move on the plane, and the ships too. So they move forward, backward, left, right. And the beauty of tank is that you can rotate your gun, you can go there and shoot there. If you don't know what to do, if you're a new player or not experienced, you can stand behind the building and wait. Also good news for you is that your targets are also slow, and from time to time they stop. Maybe they don't know what to do, maybe you track them, you know, hit the track, maybe they're aiming and the reload time is quite long. So a human brain is more comfortable playing tanks because it's like a car or walking or just, you know, throwing a javelin like in the prehistoric time. But evolution and Mother Nature did not make us ready for flying in 3D environment. Plus, it's very fast, 500, 400 miles per hour, right? A little less. And the problem is historical accuracy that World War II planes, they can only shoot to where they fly. So if you want to shoot there, you have to fly there. If you want to shoot there, you cannot fly there. You have to fly there, but you don't want to fly there. And plus, tanks or ship, you cannot like kill yourself, like hitting the wall, right? In planes, if you hit the ground or hit the cliff, you die. So from the biometrical motion brain composition, you know, pilots are very special people. They train for many, you have to be a very special person. You have to train even for civil aviation, but for military aviation, there's only, you know, few people who could actually do that. And we admit this, right? We cannot reprogram DNA of the humanity. However, you would be surprised how hardcore and how fanatic some of our players are, and there are, you know, hundreds of thousands of those. We have to accept the reality in this sense, right? We do everything possible with new models, new maps for warplanes, some bells and whistles, this and that, but yeah, it's a computer game. So we accept this reality. You still can play all the warplanes, having all the tanks, all the warships, premium account. If you think ships are more fun, you're free to play ships.
Is a relaunch of World of Warplanes thinkable or possible with a new, I would say, new type of gameplay?
It's a good question, and you know, and you all know, and I know that there's no easy answer to that, because there are flying simulation games, right, in this world, but none of them is World of Warcraft. None of them is World of Tanks. Even before that, if you just study the market in a traditional way, there are kind of legendary games, but still they're very niche and have very limited followers. So we are there fighting, let's say, an uphill battle against the way the human brain works. So yes, we are trying to finally understand. Okay, we understood why, but that does not necessarily give you 100% correct answer how to correct this. Okay, we can make planes very, very slow. Then it will be a game of chess, right? There's a balance between fun and historical accuracy, because our community, our players, for all three games, definitely, we know this, value historical accuracy, you know, the realism, photorealism of the picture, you know, explosions and everything. We cannot make it too cartoonish, too, you know, too kindergarten. So there's a balance, but we're persistent in this. So there is no easy answer to your question.
So it's kind of like a maybe.
A lot of people are engaged in this, analyzing and thinking of new ways, but it is not easy.
Concerning esports, the World of Tanks events and championships and all that are very big. If you can manage to get World of Warships on a similar level, are you planning to have it to be such a big esports title too? And if you answer this first question with yes, how would you decide, or what would you decide, like when you are given a random very big location, a very big occasion and a very big opportunity, would you rather choose then World of Warships or World of Tanks for whatever reason?
Esports is a very new thing on its own, right? It just appeared in the West, especially like a couple of years ago, 5-ish, right? It was big in Korea 10 years ago and still is. So we are glad to see that this is a new booming kind of economical ecosystem, and we are glad to be part of it. Again, this is not easy picnic. You may be surprised, but we are really glad to see the success of Riot and Valve and some other companies in esports, because on this sense, in spite of the fact that we are kind of competitors, we are in the same boat. We're pushing esports, of course, with our own games and events and streaming and everything. We're pushing esports as a universal concept, as a new form of entertainment versus watching TV or watching, you know, normal sports. And it is getting bigger and bigger. Look at Twitch. I did not know what Twitch was 4 years ago. Boom, $1 billion Amazon purchased, and now it's just growing and growing and growing. So I don't have one answer, oh yes, it will be 10 or it will be 20. It will be growing. We are doing everything we can, but as in any form of entertainment, we also see very logical setup. If you have a good game, which has beautiful visuals, which is very well balanced, which is interesting to watch, which has limitless possibilities of tactical and strategic combination, you have to interest. There's a whole ecosystem. There's developers and publishers like us and Riot. The pro teams like Navi, like Fnac, and others who train sportsmen and pay them salary, etc. There's sponsors like Samsung and LG and Razer and gear and computers, Alienware, who throw money in to reach for their target audience, the players. There's streaming and broadcasting entities like Twitch, YouTube, and now it's going to big TV channels, big TV networks like ESPN2. Good news. So you just have to do your job. My experience tells that 3 years ago it was one thing, then it became much better, much more interesting 2 years ago. This year it was even more interesting and bigger than the year before, and the next year is going to be bigger than this year. It's just we have to do our job right. At Wargaming we have like 50 people doing esports, and it's global. Good news, it's global. It's played in Japan, in China, in Southeast Asia, in America, in Russia, in Europe. So we just have to do our job. And again, it's about numbers and viewers and numbers. So if all the warships accumulate critical mass of normal players who just play for fun, there will always be a percentage of highly competitive people who want to fight for prize, for money, for fame. They want red carpet, they want Samsung sponsorship. We give them all full support. We teach those young people how to cooperate. We help them to do contracts. The Golden League, we pay them salary. So we're just doing our job. So far, it's growing. When World of Warships is big enough to accumulate enough esportsmen, we'll do it. And yeah, I can see, for example, if World of Warships becomes esports, I don't see reason why not having two. Because World of Tanks is big in esports.
How many players are big enough?
I think
it's for World of Tanks. Okay.
For World of Tanks, you probably know numbers from other, gaming companies like the Staples Center full of people watching this. You can count those people. World of Tanks definitely is smaller than that. I think we have 400,000 teams. 400,000 players, like 500,000 players participating in the beginning of last season of World of Tanks. There was like 50,000 teams or something like this. Each team is like 7-8 people. It's a good beginning. It's a good second year.
And for warships, how many people you need to reach a critical mass? What do you think? Now you've got 3 million, you said?
No, right. 3 million have already played the game this or that way. You understand? It's just the beginning. We just have 2 nations, right? We're just starting to roll out new content, new maps, and our community. It's not about the game itself. Also, it's a community. For World of Tanks, we have 1,500 people all around the world just supporting the game and doing community management and events and forums and moderation and those streams and this and that. Now, as a company, we of course are increasing this capacity for ships too. So it's a living ecosystem. It is growing. But one thing I can tell you, World of Warships is very, very spectacular. Tanks, they're small and fast. But warships, I can compare, like in boxing, probably World of Tanks is more like a Olympic lower weight, like 76 or whatever kilos, and World of Warships is Mike Tyson. They're big, they're big, and heavy and strong. So it depends. Esports is not yet carved in stone. The history of esports is written as we speak. The next year will be one new game, and World of Warships will suddenly become something like really, really, really appealing to watch, which is now like on Twitch. We just keep calm, don't panic, do our job.
Okay.
When the open beta started, we saw a huge increase of player numbers, of course, because everyone got into the game. But right after that, we saw a slow decline over the weeks. And do you accept, with the introduction of the German cruisers and Russian destroyers, a new increase that you will top the numbers of June?
Each game after release or after open beta, usually open beta for these kind of games, it's kind of released already, it lives its own life. It's a living, breathing organism. It's not something you press the button, launch it, and earn a lot of money. No. Every day there's hard work. There are updates, new ships, new maps, new gameplay modes. There's tournaments, there's some activities, there's some events like this. So each game has a dedicated, of course, development team and dedicated publishing team, which is all those things I mentioned. So like a living organism, like a human body, a brain, it has its ups and downs. We have to carefully watch what's going on. If something goes right, do more of this. If something is going wrong, try to fix it and keep going non-stop. So I cannot answer specifically about cruisers or Russian or particular date, 1st of September, what happened on 1st of September. But I definitely know World of Tanks and World of Warships, okay, World of Tanks dropped significantly when German team was playing World Cup finals in football in Brazil. That's what I know, right? But apart from that, everything else is in our hands, both for ships and for tanks. So it's just watch it. So we are doing our best. You can see we don't stop him. There is no reason for us to stop to develop. World of Tanks is already 5 years old, but I should say 5 years young. We just reshuffled. Maybe my answer will a little long. You understand? It's a very big company, and those projects are very, very complicated. It's not your game you put on the disc, Christmas, boom, 100,000, whatever, 1 million boxes sold, and you forget about it. No. It's a non-stop, 5 years, 10 years, like non-stop TV show. Non-stop TV show where you upgrade as you go. So there's a very fast bullet train going on, and you try to fix this plane if something's broken, or upgrade this, train as it goes. Through tunnels, through bridges, through forests, through villages, through towns. So we're doing this, and when we had one game, World of Tanks, it was easier. Now we have World of Tanks for PC, World of Tanks for mobile, World of Tanks for PlayStation, Xbox 360, Xbox One, we have World of Warplanes, we have World of Warships, and some other projects are in development. As a company, you have to transform yourself too, to be able to sustain this. And this is the first time I'm going to say this. People often ask questions about money. Are you happy with the financial outcome? How do you feel, being a big company, businessman, blah, blah, blah. Yes, these games, if you do things right, they earn money, and it is a good business. But today, if you ask me what I do for the humanity, apart from Master of Orion, I can say, and I'm really proud of it, and this is the first time I'm saying this to someone apart from myself and some of my close colleagues. I think, and I'm happy and I'm pleased to see that me and my colleagues, we managed to accumulate these 4,000 people, paying them salaries, office space and everything, the medical insurance and other benefits. We managed to accumulate 4,000 professionals all around the world. We empowered them with money, office space, whatever ideas, and they generate ideas too, so that these 4,000 people, instead of doing something else, what are they doing every day? They are creating gaming worlds, free to play, nice, fair, beautiful for pretty much all platforms, and constantly rolling out those games and updates for the whole world to enjoy. I'm proud of this, because this accumulation of, and it's not just one game which runs for a year or two and dies. It's a bunch of cool games which will run for a very long time. It's not easy to accumulate those resources together, hold them as one family. Yes, we have like little brothers and sisters like planes, tanks, ships, and different platforms, but still it runs like one family. Wargaming, the brand, meetings like this, events, parties. I'm very proud that we managed to accumulate those people and make them create gaming worlds free to play for the world.
what about future plans with the Wargaming family besides updates and stuff? Is there a World of Cowboys, World of Soyuz, something? Is there
we always working on something. These projects are very complicated. They require, you know, dozens of millions of dollars in investment, and each project requires like a team of 200, 300, 400 cutthroat professionals, you know, programmers, artists, etc. So yes, we would love to make the world of sail ships, the world of aliens, the world of whatever, submarines, everything. We have to be realistic. We do what we can do and a little more. So today I already enumerated those projects which we have running now. But these questions, I got them 3 years ago. Guess what? After that, you know, the warplanes came out and Blitz came out. So I always get this question, and every time we meet in half a year or a year from now, there's a new game coming out of us. But we make announcements only when we are ready and know that, okay, this new concept is going to be cool and we are ready to show it to the world. So we're constantly working on something new. I can assure you this. Like 5 years ago, like 4 years ago, like 3 years ago, and we prove, we walk the talk. So we keep releasing not only updates, announcing and releasing new games too. New platform, World of Tanks for Xbox and Xbox One, PlayStation, it's a different game. Yeah, it has tanks, it has monetization like World of Tanks, but it's a totally new project with a separate team in Chicago.
Just to mention, we have about 5 minutes left, so if you have a question, please.
Two questions. One thing is you have a Unify account for World of Tanks and World of Warships for the premium account,
yeah.
But for World of Tanks you have your own gold, and for World of Warships you have your own doubloons. You think in the future to combine it with it or have it separate?
We are still discussing, this is a very, let's say, complicated topic on the case of technology and unification and security, because this is money, right? So my personal view, it should be united. My personal view, it should be united. And there are no particular reasons, philosophical, why they should stay apart. It's just the development team, World of Warships team, was until now, and for the nearest future, is concentrated specifically on a good game, which is called World of Warships, right? If we rush it technologically, we may screw up, and then, you know, it's like a banking system, right? It's like banking transaction across continents, in between different, you know, economies. Give us some time. So I don't give you a yes or no answer. We are working on the concept which will best suit our players. They need to be happy. At the end of the day, this is your money, right? I mean, you should be free, like normal euros, dollars. You should be free to spend them wherever you want. But right now, it did not happen for various, let's say, technological reasons.
And the second question, you think about an ELO system for the random battles in World of Tanks or World of Warships? An ELO system, like a skill system.
Ladder, yeah. World of Warships debuted this ladder system for warships. Players love it. It's a good, you know, at Wargaming we share and good examples from one game are taken to, for example, Xbox and Blitz share a lot of things together. It's a good example right now. There's a lot of, you know, push on World of Tanks team to speed up this kind of, we call it competitive gaming.
Okay.
So it did not happen today, but we're pushing it.
Okay.
Last question then.
Yeah. Can we look forward to any other featured game modes for World of Warships than random battles, co-op battles, team battles?
Well, I think
like an assault mode from World of Tanks or something like this?
Sky is the limit. If you look at World of Tanks or other games, shooting games, for example, you know, Quake, Doom, there's always some room for creativity. But it's not about, okay, I have an idea and tomorrow morning we just unroll. We have to be careful. We have to balance this mode, we have to do special maps, we have to test it to make sure it does not break. You see, in World of Tanks, things are moving on with this domination mode, like now being, and it's going on and on. World of Warships immediately started with, you know, this ABC capturing stuff, which is totally, I mean, this is my favorite, ABC capturing, this is my favorite. So, World of Tanks is just a new little baby, you know, which is like 1 month old. If we're a little patient, we will see new things for warships and for tanks too.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.